proof majority.
You know, and the problem is, even if Democrats win there, Al Franken thinks if he lets Democrats in the Senate decide his race,
well, I think there's some
they're
votes in the back of a car.
going to steal it for him. They will actually try to help Norm Coleman out because I don't think they want him up there. Just talking to Democrats, saying, you know what, we're fine with 59. Let's keep the comedian in Minnesota.
God.
I like you, Al, but that's what Democrats are telling me.
Chuck's here.
Let's ask Chuck.
You reading the paper there?
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question, but let's bring in Chuck Todd first. NBC News political director and editor of MSNBC.com's First Read, Chuck Todd. Chuck.
Morning.
How are you doing, brother?
Hey, just dandy.
You agree with me that some Democrats in Washington wouldn't mind seeing Norm Coleman coming back? In all seriousness.
No, well, I have talked to very senior Democrats, so you know, don't have to speculate on that. I've talked to very senior Democrats who are concerned. You know, the thing about both Minnesota and Georgia, by the way, is had Democrats had a better candidate in both seats, both would already be over. They would have beaten Norm Coleman with any generic member of Congress who would have run, and with a couple of maybe a Max Cleland or somebody else in Georgia, they probably would have won without a runoff.
Hey, Chuck, let me clarify. You say Democrats in D.C. are concerned. You're talking about they're concerned about the possibility of Senator Al Franken?
Well, the concern is this on Franken. It's that if Franken wins, and, you know, who knows? I mean, when you're at the point that they're in, it's a tie, and it really goes down to how many votes are left to count and what gets counted and this or that. So it's a tie, which tells you that voters really didn't want either guy, but that's a whole other story. But the concern, according to a couple Democrats I talked to on Franken, was then everybody on the left, on the Hollywood left, would try and run for office. You know, that Tim Robbins, that, you know, I mean, you know, they were half joking but half serious, that there would be this concern that, you know what, oh, geez, you can just run anybody now. It's that easy to become a U.S. senator or a governor, and that if Franken loses, it will be a little bit of a reality check for the Hollywood left that, you know what, this isn't so easy. You can't just espouse certain, you know, just jump out there, espouse liberal things and get elected.
It's not as easy as it looks on TV.
Right.
I mean, it is not easy to put this country $12 trillion in debt. That
now, this is
real training.
And this is not to say, you know, I've interviewed Al Franken. The guy is perhaps deeper on issues than any of the Senate candidates that I met and interviewed in 2008. You know, this is not, I'm not trying to knock Al Franken here. It
Sounds like you're at odds.
It is, no, but it is the perception that Franken would bring to, and what Franken would lead others. The Sean Penns of the world might think that they could run for office. Alec Baldwin. I mean, you laugh, but that is the concern. Franken,
I mean, as a Republican, I'm hoping that happens.
Okay, can I ask Chuck a question?
No, you can't ask Chuck a question. Chuck, that's a great point. I understand it. Let's talk to Peggy.